a little bit about of that game before we wrap up. We knew this was going to be a great series. We got a fantastic series, and I like that confidence as well. 100 Thieves just straight up, yeah, we got hands. Cubby, you say that so often. That's what I know you for.
I mean, when you coach a team, it's a good way to gas up the boys. You know, like when you're sitting there, you're down 0-1. It's like, come on, we can out hands them. Whether it's true or not, it usually gets people going. And I think with 100 Thieves, it's very true. That game was definitely a 12-12 experiment. As I still think that, the comp that TL had was pretty good late, but Yasuo was just never able to function against all the knockups of the Wukong, the Alistar, could not DPS. And you have double Maw into Vlad Victor, couldn't do enough. Well played by 100 Thieves. I think it's fun. Both series, we did say the top 4 teams were playing in the first 2 series today, and it was 1-1 across the board for each. So, really fun.
Cubby. Come here for a sec.
Yeah.
Okay. Come here. A little closer. A little closer. There you go. Wait, this side. This side? Yeah, this side. So, didn't I say that the Alistar was going to be pretty good?
Oh, man. Yasuo doesn't like knockups.
Okay. Well, we've gotten to see.
Getting hindsight harried everywhere today.
Okay, guys.
I called it, man.
Okay.
I said that before.
I can't with you, Magical. I can't.
Well, at least I got him to side with me on the playpens, so at least I've gotten one conversion.
All right, moving on. We've seen a couple of the top teams perform, but a little bit of a different direction now as we're going to be heading into our second series of the day. This is going to be Golden Guardians going up against Immortals. Of course, Golden Guardians, there has been a lot of troubles thrown their way, not only with the roster, just they're not having a fantastic time all around. So coming from this roster, I mean, Cubby, this is just where I want to see improvements and every little step further for Golden Guardian. Celebrate the little victories.
Yeah, it's tough. We're about to wrap up our first round robin. They still have their coach playing mid. I know that they were one of the teams that was hit pretty hard by a wave of sickness the past week. That's been a part of LCS and Academy. And there's also been like 3 or 4 tragic games that they lost. There was a Nexus defense that we featured from Jimmy and 100 Thieves. They lost with Elder plus Baron for a game. Things just haven't gone Golden Guardians' way so far this split. And I think that they had a nice bounce back against TSM where they were finally able to pick up a nice 2-0, build some confidence, and hopefully they can end the first round robin picking up a couple games against Immortals, a team that's in the middle of the pack looking to separate themselves from the middle of the pack.
Yeah, definitely. And one person that we're going to be looking to for that is Concept. You were talking about somebody with ups and downs. Well, a team with ups and downs. I feel like Concept, when he gets the champions that he wants to, is definitely a player that is full of just great things, Magical.
Mundo.
He walks forward.
Mundo. Look at it. Look at him. Walking at him menacingly. It is always great to see. I mean, Concept, he always has a very unique champion pool. I respect it. I love seeing someone who has a different style that he keeps playing and keeps playing it well. Obviously, sometimes it does hurt with how weird his champion pool can be because you have to play around that. And when you put him on more meta stuff, not necessarily the best, but God, I love his Mundo.
It's been fun. I think it's curious, too, just given the top laners and this matchup that we have. Because when Concept was not Immortals, he was oftentimes, given the Mundo, given the Singed, given the Urgot. Here, with Golden Guardians, when he's tried to play some more of the meta picks, I think we have seen Concept struggling a bit. And his return to the picks that he found success on earlier, that's been where Golden Guardians is having success. He's 2-1 on the Mundo. And with a team that is sitting in the standings at 3-13, I think that Concept has shown that comfort's good for him. And that's what Immortals allowed him to do last split when it was his rookie split. And curiously enough, on the side of Immortals, that's what they've been leading into with Vital, their new rookie top laner they have this split as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's a couple of high points about this roster from Immortals that I really like. Obviously, Pretty was someone that I was looking at right beginning of the split, someone to be keeping an eye on. But as we go on further, Magical, I feel like there's been a couple of people that every day your attention can kind of shift on who's performing and kind of give everyone kudos.
Well, I mean, I'm always going to be a sucker for Immortals, especially because knowing going out with the boys before, hanging out with them, they're all good kids around the block there. But it's also the fact that they play so wild. I love that. Chad's level 1 invades. It's always memed up to high heaven, but he always looks for these early plays, and I love it. I love how he plays around Pretty, who's a really solid mid laner. We're really seeing him step up and become one of the top, if not the top, mid laner in Academy at the moment. Joey playing some weird stuff as well. Then Arrow. Aggressive, very aggressive, and I love to see it. But Vital's the last part of it, right? Vital is the last part that kind of has the style that seems to go really well with the entirety of Immortals, kind of like how Concept did, because they can let him play his own style, since they have their own identity as a squad in general.
Yeah, and talking more about Vital too, since that will be a direct matchup over in this top lane. Vital, I think, is a really interesting player, just in the fact that coming from a non-competitive background, like we see players come up through the scene, it's just a lot of question marks. And each week you get to see a little bit more of him and see that improvements. And I really love having that journey that we can see just here in Academy, Cubby.
It's interesting because I think that with a lot of rookies, especially top laners, oftentimes we see rookies struggle with fundamentals for the game. But where we see a lot of these rookies excel is in team fighting. That's oftentimes why they get picked up. It's players that, orgs feel like, hey, they do some really special parts or really special things at the harder parts of the game. So if we train them up on the fundamentals, some of the easier parts to teach, we feel like we can get more out of this player than others. I think that's really the conclusion that Immortals came to with Vital, because honest champions, I think that Vital's actually team fought really well. He's just struggled a little bit in the laning phase, which honestly we expect for rookies. And Vital, despite some of his laning stats being lower than what we expect, I should say lower than the average, it's been better than what I expected, frankly. And I want to see Vital continue to grow, continue to expand that champion pool, and continue to show some better laning stats, and has a good chance to do so today up against Concept.
Only thing, though, is, well, I like Vital. I think he's done really great stuff so far in the split. Fiora and Yone, I feel like those are the two champions. It's almost kind of a similar story with Concept on the other side. These two players have these few champions that they're really, really good at. But when they try to explore outside of that, that's when we start seeing a bit of the cracks showing in the armor.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll be interesting then if it's all up to the champions that they're on, what result we're going to get as champion select is just around the corner as we get ready to head into Immortals up against Golden Guardians.
Mundo. That's
no bias here. No bias.
No, not at all. No. And Bel'Vet being banned. Come on, Golden Guardians. Cadian, I thought we had something when we did in the lab. I thought you were gonna pick it.
I know we've already seen 2 Bel'Vets on the other stream, so I know that's gonna make you very jealous here, Mad Magical.
Leaving.
Leaving. Yeah. He just wants the craziness, wants the new champions, and maybe we'll see on this patch if we see any Seraphine, as that was the champion that dominated the last series, 400 Thieves, at least in the second game. Really did define a lot of the pick ban, though, with the counters that Team Liquid were able to throw at it. Did manage to take one of those wins. And funnily enough, Mad Magical talking so much about Seraphine. You're back. Seraphine is
Yes!
off
thank
the table.
God. We don't have to worry about Seraphine. Like I said, thank you, Immortals. I knew I liked you guys. Banning away Seraphine. Too OP of a champion, in my opinion. I think she's just disgusting right now. And Yone taken away from Vital this early on in the draft, but not the Fiora.
Shouldn't be taken away by Immortals either. See if Immortals throws a target ban out at GG. My eyes really go towards that Senna, as that will be denied. And this is where we get in curious territory. Do we still see something like a Wukong first pick that was really strong in the last patch? Or appears that Golden Guardians might have been taking a book out of the LCK. We've got first pick Corki. So scaling, high priority for Golden Guardians. And against all the teams to try that against, I feel like Immortals are the ones that will make the craziest plays and try and break it. Sometimes they do throw in the mid game, but Immortals love to play fast, and this will enable Pretty Chad to play fast with the champions of their choice.
So I am looking really quick. I believe that in the second victory against CSM that they got last week, their first 2-0 they've gotten of the split, it was choose on Corki. He tends to do a lot better on the scaling kind of champions to try to help out the team later on, but Udyr locked in. We've seen if you paid attention to amateur circuit at all, Udyr has risen a bit in priority. We saw him kind of like on on the fringe, hanging out on the wings.
Whoa.
And now lately, he's gotten even more priority, especially when you pair it up with something that can rotate around the map as quickly as Twisted Fate.
Well, I did say that Chad Pretty can get their choice of duo to play fast. That's a different choice than what we've seen in past patches, but looks to be the play for the side of IMT. We'll see how Golden Guardians decides to answer, as that is a lot of frontline and stuns that have already been taken for IMT. I wouldn't be surprised if we just see Ezreal Yuumi here. That it is a weaker bot lane, but it is one way to try and kite out the Udyr and deal with the TF.
Especially with a lot of bot lane focus so far. Zeri, Seraphine, Senna, Kalista, taking away a lot of what we consider like the meta.
Yuumi was adjusted. They did nerf her heal a bit. I still think it's playable. We get to learn a lot, see if that is the choice. But no, actually Jarvan, who did see some buffs on 12-12. It's one way to put Udyr in the Cataclysm. Also, you can catch Twisted Fate out that way. You can buff for the card, buff for the sun. Why this pick for Acadian?
And there it is. Vital getting it what he's named after. The Vital procs of Fiora. Locking it in blind, similar to how Tenacity did in our previous series. But Tenacity also popped off on that. So maybe this is truly one of the best blind pick top lanes you can get.
It is blindable. I am very surprised, though, they're actually banning away Mundo. Fiora is a really good match for Mundo.
It doesn't matter if it's some concepts of Mundo, man.
It's a good matchup. As
I know it is, but it's still concepts Mundo.
All right, I appreciate that, Mad Magical.
I'm a stand for
We
concepts
pay
Mundo.
respect. You know, you did say IMT were your favorite team for being the boys. Apparently, they don't like you if they're taking away the Mundo. Might have to rethink that relationship.
Yeah, maybe I do. You know what? Really, friendship with Immortals ended. Concept and Golden Guardians are new best friends.
Friendship with whoever picks Veth first for Mad Magical started. That's where we're going.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or give me just something spicy, something interesting. I always like the crazy, chaotic picks, and so far, seeing that Concept's champion pool is being whittled down a bit. Well, Urgot is something he has played before. I doubt you want to play that into Fiora. It's pretty obvious when you try to go in for the charge, and then Renata being banned out in the bot lane. Interesting to see more and more of the bot lane focus whittled down by Golden Guardians.
I must say, I think the reason they took away the two big tanks is that IMT realizes they have, like, no damage between Twisted Fate and Udyr as this game goes on. So maybe that's why they're deciding to take away tanks, even if they do have that Fiora locked in. I did tease the Yuumi. We have seen some adjustments to especially the heals on this champion. Still going to be locked in, so it's a bit of a deny away from GG. But I'm really curious to see what Arrow pairs it with.
I'm calling my shots. It's Sivir.
I don't like Sivir and the Jarvan, though. That's the thing.
I don't either, but I think it's a Sivir.
Could be the Sivir. Changes they did make to Yuumi, they did give her a little bit more of a passive shield, but they actually took back some of its Trundle Top. We'll talk about that in a
Trundle
sec.
Top. Yeah,
it should be Trundle Top. Took away some of the passive, or buffed up the shield, took away some of the base health heal, though, and some of, or actually gave some move speed on the Zoomies. Either way, less healing from the cat, I think, was needed.
More zoom.
Yeah, more zoom. Trundle Top. Curious pick. I do like Trundle into Udyr. Into Fiora. I was teasing that we could see Trundle Top last game before the Vladimir was taken down. The idea is that Chomp, you are able to just run down Fiora. And she can only really trade Vitals, can't take extended trades against you. As, Mad Magical.
Did I get it?
You might be onto something.
Did I get the big brain?
You might have.
I mean, let's be honest. Look at what's been banned. So many of the marksmen have been taken off the table. There's not much left that they could go for.
All right, Mad Magical. You got the big brain on this one. I will say Sivir into Jarvan. It can be dangerous, but we'll see if Arrow is up to the challenge, as it's going to be...
You doubted the Alistar into Trundle last time.
I doubted it for good reason. It's a very good reason on that one. Fellow Alistar player here at one point myself. It's not fun, but
you don't even know the tech with going for like Everfrost and Hextech Rocket Belt. How do you know you're really an Alistar player? Have you ever even gone press the attack Alistar? Have you? I
will be nice to you, Mad Magical, and not ask you the rank that you were playing Alistar in. So we'll move forward with this.
Ranked.
Yeah, exactly.
We're talking about ranked. We're talking about ARAMs.
On the side of Immortals, all about going fast. They have Sivir, Udyr, Fiora. They can run down the side of Golden Guardians. Not only in the team fights, but also playing fast on their end. I think it's really important that IMT get off to the races in this game, utilize that Udyr, that Twist of Fate, and utilize the fact that you're going to have shove mid. We've seen Chad be at his best when Pretty has shove, when they can do things together. Big opportunity for them to do that this game.
Also, I do need to dispel any rumors about my ranked. Yes, it was on a Smurf account that was in bronze. Just like my main account, they're both in bronze, but it doesn't matter because we're here to talk about competitive players. We're talking about how they play on the Rift, how they're going to go at one another, especially Golden Guardians, coming off a hot 2-0, their first one of the summer split with Immortals, one of the more chaotic teams that we have in Academy. I'm curious to see where we even see the first play because Udyr versus Jarvan. Doesn't Jarvan usually get the upper hand initially?
Udyr has a very fast clear speed. Jarvan can kind of keep up, but the idea is that Jarvan makes early plays, Udyr power clears, and then you get up in the face of Jarvan and set him behind. So, curious to see if when Chad's able to use that, as you're getting in the game pretty soon. Excited to see how this one pans out.
So am I. Some spicy picks across the board. New patch. Some things the same, some things different. Trundle, Fiora, top lane. Bringing back the Jarvan-Udyr matchup, as well as Arrow on Sivir.
Oh, we got a new Sivir skin here for Arrow.
Oh, we're selling more skins.
Yeah, looking sharp. I mean, gotta make sure we hit our commission, man. Magical.
I still like my favorite skin for Sivir is still the pizza one.
I should say hit our quota to get the commission. Pizza one's pretty good.
Pizza one is. This one's not bad. This one's not bad.
It's looking sharp. Both Arrow and Joey rocking. The Sivir does look to be the Dark Harvest angle. And I will say Joey actually doesn't have any potions. So I didn't see if a control ward was dropped. Or if Joey's just being big brain saving some money.
Seeing that nobody has gotten a ward kill, I would assume.
Yeah.
No.
Speaking of big brain.
Yeah.
We have some mugs being laid for Concepts, helping him out with these early levels.
I like that play from Giant.
And a wait invade.
No, right, a late invade.
Right, no wait invade. No. I got ahead of myself there. Yeah. I was trying to get ahead of myself to help you out, man. Magical. Trying to deliver on the action quota.
Well, yes, but you're not the one playing, Cubby. Why don't I ask you what your rank is, huh? Mr. Colorcaster, huh?
Both junglers starting off on the bot side.
See, he's dodging the issue. He's dodging the issue.
Yeah, you're gonna work their way up.
Even though I'm pretty sure you actually have had competitive experience in the past.
No, unless collegiate counts.
Yeah, collegiate counts. Collegiate definitely counts. Yeah.
I don't know if it counts at the level I was at, but we'll see. As Concept.
But right now, Concept, he's really bringing the rumble to top lane. Vital and Concept both fairly low, but the fact that you have all those Bard mugs right behind you to gobble up and get back to full. Vital's going to be like, wait a minute, I've been bamboozled.
I actually kind of like that tech from the side of GG. Showing a little bit of experience with this pick as Trundle top is something that playable into Fiora.
We could go with the meme. It's Chime playing Bard.
Yes.
One trick, yep.
Bard one trick, Thresh one trick, does it really matter? We'll see if Chime's able to live up to it.
Well, right now, getting poked out pretty heavily. Good thing you have Bard. Constantly putting down the mugs so that way you can gobble them up. Survive against the poke-heavy lane of Sivir Yuumi. While top lane, we turn our attention. Concept really is bringing the hurt to Vital on his signature champion.
First three waves are really tough in this matchup as Trundle steals your AD with a chomp. Lethal tempo, make sure that you are out auto-attacking the Fiora. You need some doubles to get those Vitals a little bit stronger. And even access to 6. Still really good for Trundle. Subjugate, even in the squishies, can be very powerful. It's going to take some time, as it looks like Concept really trying to be the bridge to the later stages of the game for what is shaping up to be an aggressive poke composition from GG. Looking at double Mirana, mid plus bot laners. We'll see if Golden Guardians are able to hit that timer and hit it hard. Speaking of timers, Chad already up 2 camps on Acadian. We'll see if... Yeah? Well, I mean, he's still got a crab to take. I think he's trying to figure out...
He's only up 1.
Okay.
Now it's 0.
He's trying to be up another.
Now it's Ghost. Now Chu's getting Valkyrie over towards Acadian with the Speedy Bear falling right behind him.
Wins
looking
this.
to get the Sun. Got to be able to get the Sun on a 1 and get the Sun on a 2. Waiting for Pretty to show up, and he wins that without even the help of Pretty. So Acadian will flag and drag over the wall, barely surviving.
Oh, and he's able to actually keep the blue buff pulled, so this should go over to Chad. Doesn't have a smite, but has it in the brush. No access to vision. Chad, we talked about the aggressive first plays. Pretty shoving in that lane was able to support him. Chad and Pretty make something happen on the Rift.
What a creative angle, too. I love that play from Chad. This
Yeah,
is why
just
he's one of those exciting
press ghost and run. Real creative.
Hey, okay. That's one of the funnest things to play about Udyr, is that you can get so fast. It is ridiculous.
Very true is vital. You see,
I don't know if he doesn't win these still. He's still taking a beating from those pillars. Speaking of beaten, Chime also taking beaten, has to use the magical journey. Well, wasn't in range to be able to get ignite onto Chime. He will survive.
Joey does have to be careful about unattaching forward. That does open up for the double Bard Q. That's really the only way that you lose this matchup out as the Yuumi, at least in the laning phase. Bard can be very valuable in the later stages, and again, for Golden Guardians, their ability to traverse terrain against a comp that really is run at you is very strong. You've got magical journeys, the flag and drag from Jarvan, not to mention shifts and W's away from your two carries. But early game, it's tough, and Immortals are trying their best to take advantage of that, as besides top lane, where Concept got the counter matchup, it has been all IMT early. Finding that first kill in the jungle of GG, and now finding this first dragon on the Rift as well.
You gotta give respect over to Concept, playing against his old team from last split, getting quite a lead over his replacement on Immortals.
Oh, is it Bork Rush?
I think it's Bork Rush.
It might be, yeah, it might be Bork Rush. It's either Bork or Hurricane is another option for the Trundle. This is all about the split push. You are going split push, and then your abilities to pillar in the fights.
Oh, I was about to say, because I've played Trundle top many times before.
It's not bad.
If you leave Trundle alone with a turret at all, it's gone.
Also, the winning matchup. That's the real important thing here for Concept is he has managed to save his TP. If he is able to force Vital out at any point, can trade aggressively as he does have TP advantage, but needs to hit 6 first.
Yeah, as now he's level 5. Massive minion wave pushing back towards him. Should hit level 6 after that. Well, mid lane Pretty, with the cat attached, flashes in and looks for the Prowler's Claw as well. Well, not Prowler's Claw, the Prowling Projectile from Joey, with Choose surviving, barely.
Still able to get pressure, and Pretty, he did burn both the summoner spells to make that play, but does have the port open. So we'll see if IMT decide to attack anywhere as Chad.
He's got no zooms. This isn't worthwhile. Don't go for it unless you get the zooms.
I think he's just trying to be here to punish in case Concept gets too aggressive, and I think Concept spotted Chad there as he swapped into the next brush. As now
I think he barely caught a glimpse of him as well. Because you can see how Concept is playing. He's playing like, hey, there's someone nearby. I'm not really going to go out any further. I don't know where they are. It's been a while, though, so does he fall for it? Does he think, hey, they're still here, and I have to keep playing defensively, or does he finally push forward?
Yeah, he's going to let that slow push out so he can get another free base. I think that's the game plan. Decent game plan for the side of GG, and I will say for Pretty, does have a pretty tough ask on the Twisted Fate where to port. If you go bot, you have Magical Journey and Arcane Shift to get through, not to mention flashes. If you go top, Trundle can legitimately 1v2 that, if it's Fiora plus Twisted Fate. So, I'm actually really curious to see what Pretty and Chad end up doing in this mid-game, and if that port is used at all for maybe a Rift Herald rotation, as at the moment, Chime is going to be forced to Magical Journey out.
Oh, no zooms. You had the cat on your back, but didn't have the zooms. Instead, clearing out some vision. We'll get control over the Dragon Pit again. Unlike last game where we saw it quite a while until we had the Summoner's Rift change. Already having a dragon early on for Immortals. Probably going to have the second one when it spawns up again in 2.5 minutes.
You can see Golden Guardians Chime actually sneaking up here. Ray looking to pull this. Will eat both sides of the queue. Well played here by Arrow.
Yeah, Arrow was sneaky there. Yeah. He's got himself serrated Dirk as well, having Tear of the Goddess to keep the inventory, mana inventory a little bit healthy. But all the while, seeing that Chad as he's clearing out, trying to power farm against Acadian, might lose control of the Rift Herald. Yeah,
we're gonna have to see how IMT plays this. Chad, he's just getting in there.
The stun, but there's the pillar. It slows down the zooms with the flag and drag combo. That's the problem with Udyr. You can kite him back, and you can slam down a hammer to pick up the kill.
Chad just going too far in there. Again, Subjugate, very powerful as Vital.
Wait, did Vital sail it? No, he didn't. Wasn't secured by Immortals. Instead, it's Golden Guardians, but they're thwarted from getting on top of the eye. You can tell the defensive play from Immortals.
They can get it with Chime.
They might be able to with the magical journey inside, but they're still tepid. They're still a little timid on trying to see if they can push in. The eye should despawn here in just a second. Yes, they will.
I mean, GG still went out big on this. Look at Array in the bot side. Able to get a free plate for himself in this matchup. They still killed Chad, who, again, Subjugate. Trundle is very good into Udyr when you're able to just press R and take away all of his stats. Udyr really can't do much. Exactly what happened in this scenario. Gonna take a second look. Easy peasy. Chad goes in way too deep. It's Pillar, it's R, it's Flag and Dragon, it's a dead Udyr.
Yeah, then to top it off, the slam dunk, I don't think it even was worth it because I think Chime gets the kill beforehand. Yes, he does.
Easy peasy. As now, Immortals, it's not a very big gold lead for him. We've talked about how hard this Golden Guardians comp scales the poke when you get double mirror mana on Corki, on Ezreal. Immortals don't have a lot of ways to deal with it besides running at you. Golden Guardians have been allowed to get to an even state now in this game. Pretty doesn't have really have any good Destiny Gates targets, and I think we're seeing this kind of catch up to the side of IMT as they are struggling to find leads in a game where I really believe they need to find leads.
So now where Trundle had thrived in top lane, was able to bully around Vital for quite some time. Vital got a good trade there, forced to recall out when the wave is crashing. Will give Vital a bit of a way back into that top lane so he's not completely forced out of it.
And Pretty's yet to use that gate. You are Twisted Fate. It is 11 minutes in. Again, I feel like it's a tough ask for Pretty to find lanes to go to. But we have poured up.
Here we
and
do.
It's no answer as Corki has package.
As there is a fight. Extended
no mana.
in the top lane. No mana concept. He got the better end of the trade. Now the fight happens on the other side with Chad being the aggressive target. They got a nice use of the Fate's Call. Not the Fate's Call. Tempered Fate to make sure it got two people. All the while, look at the Destiny Gate. It was open to spot them out. They couldn't actually go further. They didn't have that ability with losing their Udyr.
I think that was a pixel perfect ult from Chime. It connected right when Pretty landed. He wasn't able to get a gold card off at all. That saved his own life and won them the skirmish.
It did. I mean, saves his life. I believe it also roots up two others so they can get more damage on other members of IMT so they don't feel comfortable enough playing into their hands and try to chase them down.
Dragon is still up as Arrow was able to secure bot lane priority. We'll see if IMT decides to push this hard. I think Dragons at this point going to be really important for them. They need to stack these up if they want to have a chance to really stick with the composition of Golden Guardians, and they will not have access to an offensive Drake. It's likely going to be it's stuck between Cloud, Ocean, and Mountain. Mountain being the best case as Chad does secure it, but we'll fight after.
It, but that is going to be Cataclysm, locking him in the pit as he tries to fight his way out. Arrow 2 inside the pit, flashing over the wall to be able to survive, but here's Acadian to stick him with the Javelin as Pretty, with the cat on his back, will take a true shot barrage, but he'll be all right. It's a Dragon secured at the cost of 2 lives.
Golden Guardians are cruising in this game. Again, this was a team... They were 1-13 going into their last series of Super Week. It was a big 2-0 for them against TSM. Not the strongest team that we have in the standings, but one that was good for Golden Guardians. I remember I pinged Ray like, hey, congrats. He's like, oh, finally, man. Like that 2-0 felt really good for these guys, especially after a tough week. They were dealing with sickness, dealing with some others. But picking it up where they left off against Immortals, the team significantly higher up in the standings. What a great start for GG, and this is a game they could easily run away with all the poke. It's Chad, this Udyr being blinded. The way the Golden Guardians have been able to control it. Trundle Pillars, Bard, Jarvan. It can't do anything in this matchup, and it's just getting poked down by the Corki, by the Ezreal, and things do not get better for Immortals over time.
Especially once you start to bring Concept into some of these fights, if you even do. His Concept, he can be a menace in the side lane. He can pretty much counteract why you drop the Fiora. He's got Bork, and I'm waiting to see that Ravenous Hydra or even the Divine Sundere built up by him. That way he'll get even more damage, more safety in the side lanes.
Hullbreaker also a good option. As you can see Vital, if he connects with that W, that's big as it decreases the attack speed. That's enough for Pretty to actually ult up here.
Yeah,
Nice
was a
pillar,
good
though.
pillar.
No flash.
Oh,
Oh,
look at
he
that.
stuffed
That's
him.
Perfect. So he couldn't even walk around to get on top of him.
Wow, concept.
Great.
Concept on early season champions. It feels like it's not just tanks. We're evolving as concept. I feel like the concept of time in League of Legends.
No, he's the concept of X. That was his old name.
I know. But, we got to expand on the concept.
Well, right now, looks like Concept looking to fight against Vital, getting flash out of him. Man, this Trundle, I thought that he was going to get at least bullied out in lane at this point. Nah, Concept's like, this is mine.
Look at the lead the concept has. He's up 30 creeps. Has the Bork to no items.
Yep.
On the side of Vital's Fiora and forced to base. That's another wave lost by Vital. Concept.
And let's see. I want to see how much damage Concept can get on here.
This turret's gone. It's gone.
Right. It's Trundle. Trundle can chomp on turrets again, and he doesn't break his teeth. Look how fast. I told you. You leave a Trundle alone with the turret for any amount of time, and it's gone.
Yeah, he's rocking the Junkyard Trundle skin because he sent that turret to the graveyard.
No, that's just scrapyard. You don't. Why would you send an inanimate object to a graveyard?
Because those objects have feelings too, Mad Magical. And
No,
that's
they don't.
why it was sent
They don't.
to the graveyard
this
of
works.
turrets.
This
which
is
the
not how it
scrapyard.
works. They're not sentient.
I get to be crazy
think I'm
once or
sentient?
twice.
I'm just a doll that you talk to yourself. That's all I am. Cubby, are you okay?
I feel like this concept's gone too far. As
Well, Concept has gone pretty far as we look at the gold he has over Vital. About 1,000 gold above a Fiora. We saw last game, the blind Fiora having a good chance in the mid game, but here, really struggling to deal with Concept top lane, while the rest of his team, even if it is making sure to pull back a bit against Immortals, they are suffering a little bit more than Concept is.
and they're doing great. Golden Guardians, worst early game team we have in Academy. They're up in it with a scaling comp. As Shoes, I think he's dead.
Choose, he's just dead. Yeah, there's no surviving that.
But it took 16 minutes for Immortals to get the first play that really went heavily in their favor. They had the first blood. Since then, it took until now. IMT need to hit this hard. If they don't pick up the next two dragons, if they aren't flipping Elder when they are still somewhat strong, they will get outscaled. They will get outpoked in this game. There's already one Beer Mana evolved for Ezreal so early on the side of Array. These champions, Chad can tank up some, but Corki poke, Ezreal poke, Yuumi heals, it's dire.
So I am looking at that Cloud Dragon. That actually, normally people kind of scoff at Cloud Dragons. I think with an Udyr comp, it actually is pretty powerful.
Could be worse.
It could be a much worse soul for your team. Having Udyr, having even Fiora, Sivir, Twisted Fate, you can make an argument for too. Things that need to make up a lot of distance against Golden Guardians. I think those are good tools that they can rely on. But they have to make sure, like you called out, Cubby, that they're securing those dragons because they lost the tier 1 mid here.
It's gone.
Finally, I think that was just about to time out too. So Cadian getting just the perfect amount of time left on it to use it. And they even can turn around and look to deny an early soul.
Really big for GG. IMT, they can't fight into the package. That's the other thing that makes this so difficult. Would love to see Choose use it early. He does. So that package was used before Dragon Falls. That means that Choose will have it up for the next one, as Choose is dead for his sins.
Yeah, he dies for it. He used that package, tried to get the timers. Freddy's like, all right, you know what? We got to get something off of this, right?
Really, really good for IMT. But that's a lot of numbers sent bot. You can see GG trying to answer on the top side. Shad, Vital will be forced off. At least IMT are getting something. It's still really dire for them. This game's going to be tough. Especially Arrow's not going for the DPS build. Like, maybe you can have Sivir, Yuumi go real hard. I don't know about this one, though. Yeah.
This is where you pivot the Udyr build. You go AP. See,
I think it's where you pivot everything as IMT.
Oh no,
Pretty's dead.
Sacrificing Pretty there. He is left out to dry
not
as
just be
Arrow tries
Pretty.
to get away. Arrow's got some speed. Here's True Shot Barrage doing a lot of flash away, not doing the damage at all to Arrow.
That's a goodie from Array, and honestly, one of the better looks we've seen from Array and Chime so far this season as well, Mad Magical. This duo...
The confidence, man. It's back. They get 2-0, and here they are.
there's been a much better look from them. As the games against Instinct and Shenny in the TSM game, I thought they played well. This one, they're playing really well, though. As the Ezreal, the Bard, the rotations from Chime. This is a Chime that I was so high on last split, just dictating the pace of the game, getting roam on a lot of these supports and making other teams suffer for it. That's been the Chime we're seeing in this one. Golden Guardians look like they're showing some signs of life in our Academy standings. They might be in mass, but looking to move their way up, take their 4th one of the season here, as they're in great shape. And Concepts,
I believe in you. Oh, is he though? Is he though?
No, he's not.
Trundle, baby! You always gotta fear him, and now 2v1 Concept wins!
We did tease that he could 1v2. Concept making it happen. He's got the Bork. He's working towards whatever he's got next in the bank. Might be a Death Dance. He's going towards, we'll end up seeing. As things are not done yet. They got Arrow's Flash.
Space Jam right now in mid lane as Arrow is still alive. Pretty shows up to turn it around. Chad picking up a double kill. What just happened, Gubby? Chime might be in danger too. He's getting away. Prowling projectile did get the slow on a Chime, but that was a nice magical journey with Chad trying to chase him down. Tempered fate to save the life of Chime. While the back interrupted on Choose. Gold card will connect. That's going to be Everfrost as well. And look who's here to save the day again. Chad with the cat on his back, but change over to Pretty to pick a killing spree up.
And just like that, things fall apart for Golden Guardians. It's a caster curse. I am sorry.
I can't believe you've done this.
I am sorry, as it's been a tough game for Choose. Gotten caught out twice now. Speaking of getting caught out, Arrow looking to get caught out for the 3rd time in a row.
So this is truly Concept versus old team at the moment. He is the mad lad fighting and chasing down these members, but that's a lot of damage.
Oh, he's going down
on him. Shut down for the side of Immortals, who can chase the rest of the fight. Looking at Vital, seeing with the Grand Challenge laid down onto Chime, who goes golden, but he is dead upon arrival. Shut down by Vital.
They got to do Baron. Just start it up. I really think IMT have to push the pace.
I think so too.
They're at least going to get a TP out of Corki. Maybe that's enough. They could recall instantly and then try and make a fast play after. As, you know what? They don't have Arrow. That's, no Baron if you don't have Arrow. You got no damage.
It would take forever.
No damage.
All
right, well, all hell's broken loose in this game.
Yay!
Mad Magical's happy. Golden Guardians, not so much.
I'm at home in the chaos.
As Immortals have turned a few plays around on them. And again, looking back, this is I guess the start of it all. As Arrow gets taken down. What happens after this?
Oh. Just a little too far. It's the exhaust on Concept, so he doesn't get as much healing as he normally would.
He gets obliterated. And then we're still down. Okay, just get separated. That's it. Still down Choose. That was a big part of this, as Choose and Arrow having a bit of a contest, see who can get caught out more. Arrow, it's at 2. I'd say that Choose is at 2 or 3 as well.
Hey, don't forget Chad. Chad's at 3.
Yeah, but Chad's at least bouncing back, trying to catch out some other members, trying to get some revenge.
But he's not going AP, Cubby.
It's a much. I'm gonna ignore that. It's a much closer game now. As Immortals, they do still have ways to go fast. They have ways to close the gap against this poke composition.
I don't care
why that's what they have to do if they don't want to get outscaled and fall vulnerable to all the poke that Golden Guardians can pump out with this composition.
Chat, he just ignores me all the time. I'm just over here. I don't even know why I'm here anymore.
Does Concept TP?
See, again.
Yeah.
Every time.
Yep. We have package for Corki. Concept doesn't have to TP. He's actually walking mid. He's going to take mid-enter.
Yep, as Trundle does. They leave a turtle alone for a second with a Trundle in the lane. He's going to be able to take that pretty quickly as Grand Challenge laid out. Same with the Subjugate.
That's Subjugate.
Back onto Vital. But not Chad, Concept looking like Chad there in mid lane, fighting back while the Dragon is going back and forth. Who will secure it? That was a Yumi. Only it's going to be secured by Chad. So they're at Soul Point with the package used by Choose to try to cut off and beat Chad in the pit. Pretty low. Concept wants it. They've got the kill for Choose.
Oh, race down.
Turn this around, but look at how low Vital is. They've got him as well with the turnaround fight. Wait a minute, is it? Because Chad was able to get a double kill in the entire fight.
2 for 2.
Arrow has left them out to die, but now they might be able to fight back.
Yumi.
This is Udyr Yumi. Look at the power. They're surviving, thriving, and chasing.
There's no damage.
Golden Guardians. They've taken the magical journey. They've used the power against Chime.
There was no damage left. Once Ezreal falls, the Udyr Yumi was able to outsustain everything. They were able to run him down with the help of the Sivir ult. And IMT, they take the dragon, they take the fight. And all my reads on scaling. Apparently, we just throw them all out the window. If you can run down the enemy team, you win. That's been the theme of the day. Run them down to death ball. As Yuumi with IMT helping make sure they're able to sustain through the poke. Run everyone down to the end. And now this is aggressive. This is aggressive.
Arrows low. Choose. That's a Valkyrie away. Ooh. They might be able to stop this, though, with how low Immortals are.
Watch
it's
Choose.
down to 50%. Look at Choose. Look at Concept, who has joined in the fight. They've got the Destiny Gate open. They've got the flash. No, he's not. He's still alive. Concept in the middle of 5 Beavers. He will be the focus. They've taken down the Troll King.
Baron, though, is alive. GG survived. But, man, GG have really dropped control on this game. And look at Chad. He is 8 kills now on the Udyr.
Upgrade
oh
to
my.
the Magi's. Do it, Chad. You know you want to.
I mean, honestly, at this point, is Udyr Yuumi just too... I feel like Subjugate has to be on Udyr. I think that was a big part of the last fight. The fact that Subjugate, it's down. It was used on Fiora in this skirmish. And the abilities just did not connect from GG. The start of the fight looks okay because Choose has a nice package. They're able to take down pretty nice and early. Remove the gold cards from the equation. But look at how low they are in the back half. And Array, that was an arcane shift that did not take him over the wall. Sent him into the middle of the enemy team. He gets burned down by IMT, and then the damage is just gone. And Chad's just walking back and forth. He looked like he was playing a fighting game there. So like trying to posture, find the right movement, buying time for the heals, and then finally found his time to strike and makes it worth it for IMT.
And keep in mind, Arrow had completely pathed around blue, so that was essentially a 1v3 if you don't count Yuumi being a part of the fight. It's just attached to the Udyr, or maybe like 1.5 versus 3.
Oh, we do have a Magi.
Yes!
He actually built it.
Chad, yes!
Wow.
Massive props to you, as now Vital looking like he's going to be caught out. Chased down. Ignite ticking. Tempered Fate. You can't repulse that. You already used it. The pillar should be enough to interrupt Vital with all 5 there from Golden Guardians to get Vital.
GG. Is this enough for them to start Baron? It is. Can Immortals respond?
Let's see.
Can Chad go fast?
Zoom.
I don't know if he's there in time. They could just cataclysm him.
Oh, yeah. They even popped on the hunt just in case. They wanted to get the true zooms out of Chad. But instead, they're focused on at least getting themselves some gold before they're going to suffer some turrets lost.
And my faith in how scaling works in this game is being slightly restored by the fact that Golden Guardians at least able to make sure they secure that objective for themselves off a nice pick against Vital. I think GG now, it's just all about the 4-1. Utilize the 4-1, deny this next dragon, and make sure they're going to take at least the rest of the inner turrets, as Concept not being grouped is going to be a lot stronger than Concept of being grouped for the side of GG, as he is a menace in the side lanes, but can be dealt with by the side of IMT.
But if there's one thing I've learned from today, Cubby, is even if a team has scaling, never underestimate the other team's ability to play the late game, baby. Because Immortals, they're still actually ahead in gold, with the Baron now pushing back towards them.
They have just Twisted Fate passive. Come on. That's got to be the difference.
Twisted Fate. I mean, you're getting the Fiora, still not too far behind Concept in CS. You have a lead for Chad. He's 8-3 on Udyr. Looking like they're really starting to scale up themselves and get some critical items, even if it is going to be answered better by the side of Golden Guardians.
I feel like the Twisted Fate passive is like the chocolate gold coins that you use, man, Magical. And
how do you know those are chocolate?
Because you said so at the end.
How do you know I wasn't lying?
And this is why we have trust issues.
Could be lying to you so that nobody tries to steal my gold coins.
Oh, what about the mugs? Shoes getting topped off here by his buddy Chime. Gonna keep our eyes on to Pretty. Poke is big for the side of GG, but Pretty with these gold cards, yeah, does have the opportunity to make some things happen, and it will be GG retreating, making sure they deny the soul away from IMT here.
Well, see, this is the problem that Immortals have. Their composition has only relative poke from both Twisted Fate and Sivir, like you had talked about. It's damage, it's some damage, but it's not quite like having a quirky late game. 3 items completed with a Void Staff in the inventory. Even looking at Array, who's got that Swirl's Grudge, Essence Reaver, Muramana, even with Quicksilver Sash just in case, Pretty starts to target Array.
And it looking like he's going for what looks to be a Prowler's Claw or an Eclipse. So making sure that he's pumping out the damage on the squishy members for IMT. So IMT looking to set up a pick. Array is in the side lane alone. And will be retreating as GG.
Do they know? Okay, they see Pretty. They might pull for the
Oh
bait. There it
boy.
is. They've got 4 members here. The TP as well. The TP answered on the other side by Choose, but the damage is already done. They've got the fight flag and drag out of the pick
Choose
to
isn't
walk
there.
3 members in, and they've got the kill under Concept. Trundle is gone. They don't have the fight back anymore, so Pretty, he can gold card whoever he wants. It's going to be a
no.
so they can get the double kill for Vital. It's the late game Fiora. I told you, never underestimate the late game, baby, because they chase them down for a clean ace.
In IMT with the bushwhack, they just queen aced him. And this might be the game as the carries for GG, they were split. They were stuck in the lane. They weren't able to join the team, not able to DPS. And when the poke doesn't connect, when you force a fight early, good things happen on the side of IMT as they just blank Golden Guardians. And that's it.
Like I said, never
Oh my
underestimate
God.
the late game that I'm now giving to Immortals because somehow they won. I'm just prescribing that to them because this game ended in a flash for Immortals. It was so close, so valiantly pushed back and forth by both teams. But Immortals, that one pick, that one fight where they set up the bait for Pretty and then turned it all around onto Golden Guardians, nets them game 1.
That feels so bad for Golden Guardians. I mean, we started this pregame talking about how, yeah, they have 3 wins on the board, but there were some tragic losses they faced. That one, it felt like a game that could have been theirs. They were up 2k gold early. Yeah, they were down a couple dragons, but who cares? You have Corki, you have Ezreal, and just were not able to make it connect as the Udyr ate all the damage, was never able to die because the Yuumi. IMT forced some fights on their terms, and just wasn't enough for GG, who I think made some big mistakes in the mid-game to get themselves further behind. But IMT, in the end, they reigned supreme, able to make sure they were starting fights on their terms. I feel like that was the big difference in that fight, or that game, I should say. Not eating the poke, taking it to GG. That paid off in the end for Immortals.
Well, the thing about Immortals is they thrive in the chaos. They love to play wild, crazy, all over the place. So few teams can really compete against them when things just get all over the place. Throw out everything from into the window. Just be like, nope, no game plan, no nothing. How do you know what I'm thinking if I don't even know what I'm thinking?
Well, sometimes it does sum up the game plan for Immortals, but I would say that Bushwhack in the end, they knew what they were doing. And hey, congrats to them. They took the game away from Golden Guardians. We'll see if they can make it a 2-0 here soon.
Yeah, and we're going to toss it to a break. When we come back, we'll have our halftime show with Sierra. Make sure you stay tuned.